For more on the data and the impact of the coronavirus on the global economy, economic themes to watch in tonight's Democratic debate, let's bring in our guest, our friend Austan Goolsbee, professor at the University of Chicago Booth School and a former chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors. Austan, I was looking forward to talking to you so much because I really want to focus on tonight, and I want to just find out from you who you think that has the best chance of succeeding and really who you're leaning towards for the nomination. So I'm just going to concede to you that Trump's been impeached. He's a horrible person. Anything good in the economy happening right now is because of cash for clunkers, and he was unable to do 3% as you forecast. So I'm just conceding all those things to you, so you don't have to go into any of that stuff. Tell me who you think can bring this country back to good times economically. Mike Bloomberg, Bernie Sanders, Amy Klobuchar, where are you on that issue? So no, none of the other stuff. Stay away from the other stuff.
I'm almost speechless. I'm almost speechless.
If you don't talk about Trump being bad, you're speechless. So, but just give me who's good.
Voluntarily said that you were actually going to buy me the dinner you owe me, it would have been like the cherry on the sundae.
Look, have you come back here to? Do you want to do? You want me to send you like DoorDash?
I'll accept breakfast at McDonald's. I mean, any of those.
Grubhub. Send me your address, and I'll have something sent to you. But have a taste tester. No, go ahead.
Look, the person I'm for is Mayor Pete. It seems like with Mike Bloomberg coming in, he's kind of taken some of the oxygen away from the middle lane of the Democratic Party. I'm going to be interested to see tonight. I haven't seen Mike Bloomberg in a debate setting. You guys maybe, having seen him as the mayor, have a better sense. My sense has been he's a little bit thin-skinned, and it's a bit of a weird environment to be running for president and enter presidential debates if you're thin-skinned, because they're definitely going to come after you.
So, Austan, honestly, I think we're together on this. I'm interested to see the Bernie Sanders versus Bloomberg dynamic tonight. Aren't you, as I don't know, are we voyeurs in wanting to see?
Yeah, we probably are.
Look, we can't look away. I can't look away. It's going to be nuts.
I am a little nervous.
I know
that they turn the Democratic Party contest here into, this is between Mike Bloomberg and
kind of is, though,
Bernie Sanders. I mean, really, is it's come down to that? But
where the betting markets
don't forget the other candidates.
That's where the betting markets are right now, though, for better. And they changed. Elizabeth Warren was leading for a while. Mayor Pete was doing really well for a while. What about Joe Biden? You were never a Biden guy, Austan. He was. You served in his administration with President Obama. It was vice president.
I've always been a Biden guy, and I loved the vice president, and I loved working with him. I think, for me, Mayor Pete is the smartest. He's got the most sensible plan. He's not from Washington, D.C., and he's of the next generation, so it's more about the future. That's why I went for Mayor Pete. But I love the vice president. It seems like they've stumbled a bit. His campaign. They got to get up if they want to progress.
So you would be unhappy with either Bloomberg or Bernie Sanders, it sounds like.
As you know, I have not been a fan of Bernie Sanders' program, and his people the Bernie pros have come after me multiple times. I have some problems with Bloomberg walking in. He spent $500 million, I think, so far on TV ads. I just think if he'd have spent $50 million on 10 battleground Senate races, he could be changing the world at this point. Right now, it feels like he's just trying to weigh in and buy the nomination, which I find a little weird.
Austan, if I were Andrew, I would now ask you, if it came down to Bernie versus Trump, who would you vote for?
Well, there you go.
Hey, 100% I'd vote for Bernie. I mean, I'd rather have a socialist than somebody who's an authoritarian.
Wouldn't a socialist be more authoritarian?
Choice, but for sure I'm against Trump.
Even for Bernie.
Even for Bernie.
Booth School of Business
that says
professor.
a lot. I'm not a fan of Bernie's, but just look at President Trump yesterday pardoning corrupt officials, pardoning people guilty of gambling fraud. I mean, the way the president's taking us is far more dangerous than.
You probably knew. You probably knew Blago, didn't you? You probably knew Blagojevich, didn't you?
I didn't know him, but he extorted a children's hospital. For money.
Right.
Said, if you want to build a children's hospital, you have to pay me.
Right. Okay. What about? Okay. So Mayor Pete, I see different things, and on my Twitter feed, I have different people that follow me. Believe me, but I hear that the moderate label does not fit Mayor Pete if you look really closely at a lot of his economic policies, and in fact, some of the people say he's way too far left. Let me
guess, Joe, you and your friends think he's a socialist who's going to destroy the
Democratic
country.
Socialist. Democratic Socialist.
Democratic Socialist.
No,
I think his program is very sensible, and I invite you, Joe, to go look at it. I think if you weren't already in the tank for the president, I think you would be pretty impressed with Mayor Pete.
Austan, let me ask you something. This proposal the White House has floated that Kayla's reported about, which would give people basically a tax break to put $10,000 into the market if they make under $200,000. What do you think about that idea? They're definitely leaning against all the kinds of proposals coming from the left. Do you think that has broad appeal? Would it be good for America?
I don't think it would be that good for America. I mean, it's just they're proposing an unfunded tax cut. Now they're trying to aim for people with less than $200,000 a year. We already just had a $2 trillion tax cut that was massively geared toward millionaires, billionaires, and big corporations. If they were proposing to do that, to fund it by getting rid of the high-income tax breaks, then we could talk. But in my view, this is more of a gimmick.